Today, we will discuss Lesson 15. Under Lesson 15 is Principles number 1, which is brief forms. Example, business is represented by V and left S stroke. Next, doctor is represented by D stroke and R stroke. Next, any is represented by N and a small circle. Next, what is represented by O and T without an angle. Next, about is represented by A and B stroke. Next, ting or think is represented by under ITH with a dot. Next, value is represented by V and L without an angle. Next, done is represented by T and N without an angle. Next is one or won is represented by OO and N. These are, under principle number 1, the 9 brief forms. Under principle number 2, brief forms derivatives. Example, things and thinks over ITH with left S. As you can see, a disjoint left S is used to express things and thinks. Next, thinking is represented by over ITH with 2 dots. Next, anything is represented by NE over ITH with a dot. Next, once is represented by OO, N, and left S. Next, businesses is represented by B, left S, and again left S. As you can see, the plural of business is formed by adding another left S. Next, businessman. Is represented by B, left S, M, and A, N. These are, under principle number 2, brief forms, derivatives, which are a word formed from another word. Under principle number 3, word ending ball is represented by B. Example, possible, is represented by P, O, left S, and B. Next, available. Is represented by A, V, A, L, and B. Next, reliable. Is represented by R, E, L, broken I, and B. Next, valuable. Represented by V, L, B. This stroke is not correct because valuable is written by V and L without an angle, like this. Next, terrible. Is represented by T, E, R, and B. These are the principle number 3, the word ending ball. Under principle number 4, word beginning red is represented by R. Example, receive. Is represented by R, S, E, and V. Next, reply. Is represented by R, P, L, and broken I. Next, research. Is represented by R, left S, E, R, and J. Next, replace is represented by R, P, L, A, and left S. Next, repair is represented by R, P, A, and R. Next, reopen is represented by R, O, P, and N. These are under principle number 4. The word beginning re is represented by R. In 7th grade, lesson 15 was simple and very easy. Principle number 1. The sound of oi is represented by O and E. Example, boy. Is represented by B and oi. Next, toy.
Next time na lang yung bayad nyo na.
Is represented by T and oi. Next, join.
Ay, magbukas po sa Steno.
Is represented by J and oi and.
Now, let's discuss the principle number 2, the sound of men. It is represented by joining M and N into one long forward stroke. For example, meant. It is represented by M, N, and T. Next, mental. Represented by M, N, T, and L. Next, mention. It is represented by M, N, ish, and D. Woman. It is represented by OO, E, and M and N. Businessman. It is represented by B, left S, and M and N. In principle number 3, we have min, mon, and man. Also represented by the long forward stroke that represents men. For example, minute. It is represented by M, N, E, and T. Month. It is represented by M, N, and under ITH. Next, money. It is represented by M, N, and E. Manner. Represented by M, N, and R. Next, manage. This is represented by M, N, and J. And that is the principle number 3, mean, mon, and man. Now, let's discuss the ye and ya. Ye, as in year, is represented by the E circle. For example, year. It is represented by E and R. Yet. Represented by E and T. Yes. Is represented by E and S. Yellow. It is represented by E, L, and O. We are done in ye, and let's proceed to ya. As in yard is represented by the A circle. For example, yard. It is represented by A and RD. Next, yarn. It is represented by A, R, and N. Yale is represented by A and L with capitalization. And that is the last principle of lesson 16. We hope you have learned more, and thank you for watching.